What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel. We have got a very unique episode here, riddled in controversy. The question of the day: who copied who? What am I talking about? I'm talking about these two instruments. We have the MicroKit Synthasette. We have the Dubrek Stylophone Stylosette keys. What are they? They are synth cassette style instruments. One is claiming the other copied them, while the other is claiming the other copied them initially. So some of this stuff I don't think is ever going to get resolved, but you guys have been asking. I've been wanting to do this video. A quick backstory. Like I said, MicroKits came out with the Synthasette, okay? Many prototypes to get to this point. It is a cassette-shaped mini synthesizer. It's not the first cassette-style instrument, and it's obviously not the last either. But the Synthasette is the most popular on the market for synthesizer cassette-style instruments. So it is not news to anyone that Stylophone recently released the all-new Stylosette keys. That's why I'm making this video, more or less. People are claiming, as well as the owner of MicroKits, that they copied them. Now, some people would say you'd have to be blind to think that they didn't. I'm not going to be getting into saying, yes, they did copy them, but there are some things that will make people say, even down to the name of calling it the Stylosette versus the Synthasette, because it's the Stylophone cassette synthesizer. This is supposed to be a synth cassette, so Synthasette. So that is the name origins. Let's get into comparing the two because, like I said, there are similarities and differences. Obviously, you guys are going to be like, well, one's green, one's black. This one has holes. This one doesn't. This one has a back. This one doesn't have a back. They both take 2 AA batteries. They both have a power switch. They both have vibrato. They both have 1 octave with an octave touchpad. They both feature a tuning dial. They both have a volume dial. They both have 3.5 millimeter headphone jack out. They both feature a tiny speaker. Yeah. Those are the biggest similarities, and obviously the design. I don't know what the inspiration was for the Stylophone one. They said that they've been wanting to do a cassette-style synthesizer for a long time now. So again, a lot of this stuff you can't not just definitively say yes or no to. This has also been something that's been worked on for a long time to get to where it is now, and it's been out, a lot longer. So they are both small companies. Despite what you might be hearing, Stylophone, Dubrek Stylophone, is a smaller company, but it does obviously have a bigger name behind it. This is MicroKits, also a small company. The Synthasette comes in this very colorful package. You can clearly see there are differences between packaging. One's way more compact, the other is much bigger. So there is a little bit of personality and character given into each way that they have been packaged and displayed until we get to the point of the initial cases. They're both put inside of a cassette case. This cassette case is clear and it doesn't have the little spindles poking out, where this one is like a neon green, has little spindles, goes into these holders, spindles, holes, whatever you want to call it, holds it in place. This one also includes the manuals inside. This one also includes 2 tape cases. Okay, so you can see it's in like if you were to get 2 cassette tapes in a case, it's like that. you can take them out. You got two cases. One is for accessories, the other is the actual synthesizer. And then with the Synthasette, it all just comes in this box. It has the manual in it and additional things, which we will get to that in just a moment. The Synthasette's design has a front and a back plate, whereas the Stylosette keys only has a front plate. But it looks like they left it open to maybe adding something on the back. That is a noticeable big difference. The biggest similarities that everyone is saying is the front layout and the case that it comes in, the et, like cassette in the name, the 1-octave touchpad, keyboards, and the octave switches. I mean, yeah, we went over that. Some of the very basic things. But these are all very standard things that you also find with any stylophone. Any stylophone instrument is going to have vibrato. It's going to have this touchpad sensor, except you always use a stylus. So this is one of their first without that. The claim here is that, well, the Synthasette design is clearly inspired by traditional stylophone instruments. Let's take this a little bit further. So they both include a speaker, but they've switched up the location. The Stylosette has a much, much more powerful speaker, whereas this one is just a standard, simple speaker. It gets the job done. This one is very, very, very loud. You can see here that the Synthasette has these little holes for something that it includes. Each of these includes alligator clips, okay? There are 10 alligator clips. It's male to male alligator clips, and they clip on to just the whole notes. There are a total of 10, 11 patch points, give or take, depending on how you look at it. The Stylosette actually has a patch bay down here. It includes 8 male alligator clips, and then on the opposite end of them are these male DuPont jumper patch cables, and then they have 2 male to male DuPont jumper patch cable wires. So that's already a difference, whereas the other one was just male to male alligator. This one only has one male side, and then the other are these little tiny DuPont patch cables. And that is so that you can access the patch bay right here. All these little pinholes. There are 22 patch points, 24 give or take if you want to argue ground patch points. Well, I guess it also has one expansion. Like if you wanted to connect this to another Stylosette keys, you could do that. So this one has a lot more features with the patch bay area, whereas this one's much, much more simple, basic to understand and get a grasp of, where this one might be a little bit more complicated. For example, the Synthasette has a vibrato switch, and it's just on and off. The Stylosette keys features vibrato, but it's a touchpad. You can patch that so that you don't have to touch it, but that is something to take note of. And it features additional shaping controls, so you can adjust the vibrato with depth and speed. This one's a little bit more advanced with its features, but that is a difference. Another big difference here is going to be the onboard effects. The Stylosette keys gives you delay. The delay also has some more fine-tuning controls like time and repeats for feedback. let's talk about the sound of each of them. So they are both analog synthesizers. I'm not going to get into like the waveforms. You know, I can do that in another video if you guys want me to like analyze the sound a little bit more, but they do have a slightly different sound where this one sounds a little bit more modern, sharp, raw. This one is a bit more vintagey sounding and has a touch of low pass filter on it. After speaking with the owner, creator, that is what they told me. So that's kind of a general basic of the sounds. They do actually sound slightly different. Price points, the Synthasette, the price of this one is $54.95 the last I checked on Amazon. I've seen it go for as much as $60. The Stylosette keys is $39.95. I've not seen the price change yet, but that is what I have seen. I still think that there is a market for this because this one is so simple. It's great for younger audiences. It's great for users who aren't as advanced. They just want to grab something and go have a good time. I think this one's great because it's got that front and back plate. It's got a great design and it's got a different sound. So if that flavor of sound is more to your liking and its simplicity more to your style, this is great for you. It's only a few dollars more, you know, on the market, but that does influence consumers when they're buying products. If they see something cheaper that looks similar, they're instantly going to think, well, then I need to get the less expensive one. This is an American company. This is a company in the United Kingdom, so that also might be an influential factor. So definitely for some beginners, I wouldn't go too young on this one because it makes me nervous with exposed parts and components and lots of tiny little wires. It could get a little tricky for younger audiences, but generally speaking, it's fine. But this is one more that can like grow with you, develop with you because of the patch bay and, you know, just some of those additional features like delay that allow it to be used in more settings, especially with these little DuPont jumper patch cables rather than just alligator clips. I did test both of these on the same thing with the alligator clips. I noticed that the alligator clips seem to get a better signal on the Stylosette versus the Synthasette. I don't know if everyone's going to have the same experience. I did notice that I liked the touchpad more on the Synthasette. You can increase and decrease the sensitivity. If there's a way to do that on the Stylosette keys, I do not know. I think this is an absolutely fantastic company, a great human being, and a genius. Like I said, I've spoken to the owner of MicroKits. This is a really great, genuine guy. I've spoken to Stylophone. I have great relationships with Stylophone and some of my contact and people who work on the team trying to come up with unique and creative ideas for their products. And this isn't the end, you know, like they've told me and like MicroKits have told me, they both just want to move on from this, continue to come out with inspiring and creative ideas. So I'm going to let you guys decide however you want on this one, staying out of it. Let's not let this divide the community like we did with Behringer and Moog and all of these other things. I think these are both genuine companies, and I don't know if we'll ever get some answers on design and inspiration necessarily. So I hope that this video helped you guys narrow down your decision if you guys wanted to buy something. I'm going to leave both of these products in my description down below, and you guys can choose who you want to support or support both of them, play them both together, get them both as gifts. They're both affordable, great gift ideas. They're both portable, compact. They're both great companies. You can find them both on Amazon. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, you'd be helping me out a lot by leaving a like and subscribe. I also want to know your thoughts in the comments section. I know that this is drama, but some of these things need to get resolved, and I think there is a path forward for both of these companies that they've both told me they just want to move on. They want to get past this. It's an unfortunate reality of products, competition, capitalism. Someone sees something, they say, hey, I can do something like that, but in my own way. You know what I mean? These aren't the first synth style cassettes that we've seen on the market. And like I've said, I think that there's a space for both of them in the market. So we'll end on that note. Thank you to you guys for checking out this video. Thanks to Stylophone for sending me their Stylosette keys. And thank you to MicroKits for sending me their Synthasette. I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Peace.